Hey, let's go. World Series time, and we're here to break down the matchup between the Yankees and Dodgers with some valued guests. But before we begin the show, we always begin by asking you the question, where else would you rather be than right here? Booyah! Right now. You are looking live at the Split Studios. This is Fantasy Baseball Now. Episode 12 is here. Part of the Ball9.com podcast network. As always, combined 70 years fantasy baseball experience. Will be 72 in just about 6 months. Mike and I are here to talk about some Major League Baseball, usually with a fantasy spin, though tonight we focus on the Yankees, Dodgers, New York going for title number 28, LA looking for number 8. You could go or know where Mike's loyalties are. The Yankees 8-3 all-time in the World Series matchups against the Dodgers. How are you, Mr. Nelson, on as we approach opening pitch Friday evening?
I'm feeling great, Sean. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. I feel good. Quietly confident, I think. I got another 1978 vibe going. That's what 78.
You gonna bring Greg Nettles out of mothballs there?
The Soto home run gave me a Chris Chambliss flashback as we go to play the Dodgers, and so now I got a little 78 vibe going. So I think it's obviously Major League Baseball couldn't have got more than of what they wanted than what they got. I mean, World Subway Series would have been extraordinarily compelling for those of us in the New York metro area. But for MLB to get the Dodgers and the Yankees, it's like a made-for-TV special. And they were the two teams that were predicted to make the World Series going in. And finally, there's chalk. And after nobody watched last year, I'm sure MLB is thrilled. Beyond
they are. I'll make a quick point that we'll bring in two of our guests. Texas, Arizona was nice. I like seeing some new teams, but you can't ask for more than New York and LA, the top seeds in each one. And for baseball, you know what? First of all, screw baseball, screw Rob Ranford, sell the team John Fisher, asshole. I had to get that in there before we get into real baseball and real franchises. With that, let's welcome. I'll let you do the intros, my man.
So last seen together and in the Breaking Balls pod, or I call it Breaking Balls. Emily calls it Breaking Balls. I call it Breaking Balls. So Emily Nyman, host of Breaking Balls podcast, Lego aficionado, also referred to, and I will try very hard to get that Nyman lady to appear tonight, and that'll be fun for the audience. Like somebody send a text, and if it pisses her off, watch the fuck out because it's going to be disastrous. And then one of our favorites, of course, is Frank Not Gaetti. And as part of this, we'll do, because there's always unsung heroes in the World Series that catch you out of nowhere. Brian Doyle comes to mind as a Yankee fan. We'll let Frank kick us off with the potential NEPTA candidates for this World Series as we talk about what's going to happen over the next, hopefully it would be 7 days, but I think it's going to be longer than that. I think we all do. How are you guys? Thanks for joining us.
I'm great. I'm better than I've been in a very long time. I mean, how can I be down this week, right? World Series, crazy.
Hey, Emily and gents. Good to see you guys.
What's up?
It's a nice hat, Frank.
It's a beautiful fresh hat. Shout out to the folks at Obvious Shirts because I'm loving it. I'm loving the hat.
That is a nice hat. That's a nice line. I mean, that is, we probably, if I was thinking, I would have dropped that in the link because that's, there's some cool gear with your logo on it at Obvious Shirts. Some really cool.
We're hoping to be joined by El Jefe, the creator of Ball9.com, Mr. Vitale, who is on Vitale time as he usually is. Last time he was pruning trees and cutting up his hands, and this time he's running errands in Palm Springs. So I think he's channeling his inner Dodger fan by showing up in the fourth inning. So we'll see how that goes.
He's like Don Rickles crashing the Johnny Carson show. He just shows up every once in a while. Never when he's supposed to. Never on time. but it is what it is.
We got a lot of Yankee flavor here. I'm going to try and sift through the homerness. I'll be the neutral guy, maybe.
Do we have to have a neutral guy? Can we just homer it out?
No, you guys can homer it out. You can go for it. So, look, Yankee fans, take your turns. Go around the screen if you want. It's been 15 years, which is an eternity in the Yankee world. Ever since the steroid guy, Emily, I read your bio, the A-Rod thing. So I want to see Miss Nyman come out quickly. And if I draw it out of you, that's fine. How are you feeling after 15 years out of the big dance? Mike, is that a Babe Ruth jersey you're wearing?
It's a Thurman Munson jersey.
Oh, okay. I'll digress.
The first World Series I got to experience as an adult was 76, when the Reds dispatched the Yankees before they went on a nice little run, right? And they were so bad, terrible. Like Sean, I know you do, but like the Yankees in the 80s were equally as bad as before the core five, because I won't say core four in reference to Bernie Williams. I think it's
fair.
Frankly, it's
Nepta Bernie Williams. Let's be honest.
It's insulting to not consider him as part of the core five. But like that drought that I grew up watching, they were a bad baseball team. I mean, Celerino Sanchez playing third base, the original number 13. And that was the Celerino Sanchez, the original number 13 in my lifetime.
I didn't realize the Yankees had a team back then.
They did. I know. They did. Yeah, I know. It's a short history that started when Jeter got drafted. I know that was some
bad baseball.
I know how everybody mutes. I know how everybody mutes anything Yankee that's referenced before 1998. Nobody wants to talk about it. So
that's the era that the Mets owned the city. As crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
Yeah. So the trophy game was a thing.
Emily, how stoked are you for this World Series appearance?
I cried the other night. I've cried multiple times since then, but when they clinched, I cried. I couldn't. It's just, and it's not like, I know there are other teams that have had longer droughts, and that sucks, frankly. That sucks really badly for them. But 15 years is a long time, even if there are other teams that have had a longer drought. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't suddenly make 15 years not a long time. It's like, I almost said half my life, but I'm actually older than that. It's like 40% of my life at this point. Did not want to come to realization about that on this live podcast, but I did. But yeah, I'm really
bad for you. I feel really bad for you.
I'm just really, really psyched. I'm going to the game on Monday. Yeah, I'm really. I was going to say, can I curse on this or what?
Yeah,
I can. Okay, I'm really.
We're over under 10.5 for each episode, so fucking have at it.
All right, hell yeah.
And I've been over on every one of them.
Yeah.
Like your style.
Sean gets me there for sure. So find a way.
Frank, for those that don't know, Not Guy Eddie is a Twitter legend, and NEPTA equals not enough people talk about. Frank, what is the NEPTA on 15 years of no World Series title in Yankee fandom, where the expectation every year is you win the whole thing in early November or the season's a disappointment?
And that's especially true for fans of a certain age. Like you said, 15 years is an eternity in Yankee time. And I mean, I was becoming a fan of baseball for the first time as a kid in the mid to late 90s. And so like I grew up on the dynasty. And, as you know, my New York homerism extends to both teams. I just don't know any other way. Like I come from folks that pulled for both the Mets and Yankees for as long as I've been alive. They've always been great supporters of both teams, gone to games at both stadiums, rooted for both of them. People always say, who did you root for in the 2000 World Series? And the answer there, to put some of this in perspective, my household rooted for the Mets in 2000 because the Yankees had just won 3 out of 4 and had just done so much damn winning. It was almost boring. Like, okay, another commissioner's trophy, right? They won 6 pennants in 8 years. They won 4 World Series in 5 years. And it was like, even for people living in this area, you almost became desensitized. The Yankees are winning it again. It's just supposed to happen. It's the way of the world. And so to now not have even been in a World Series since 2009, it's like surreal. If you're a Yankee fan between the ages of like, 35 and 45, it's like, it's strange almost. The Mets have been in the World Series more recently. I actually went to Game 4 in 2015. And like, there's nothing like October baseball. I truly am empathetic and feel for fans of teams where October baseball is not the norm. Forget
Dude,
winning
I'm
the
an
World
A's
Series.
fan.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
Yeah.
Holy
Well, I'm
shit,
on the
man.
way out. I'm a separation and filing for divorce, but yeah, Emily. I grew up in the Bay Area,
Oh
so
man,
yeah,
sorry
this
to
is
hear
gonna
that.
especially.
Well, thanks for
tough.
bringing that up. I've only heard that story for 45 fucking years.
You want to talk
Great.
about the A's? We'll talk about the A's. Do we have to talk
Hang
about the
tight.
World Series? All right.
So
So
put your Orioles hat on, you dope.
is it? I'm not sure where it is. I don't know if that's going to make it to spring training. Is it exciting, or are you at the point where it's nervous? Because look, LA's Shohei and Betts and Freeman and all that. Is it? Or what point do you start to sink into World Series mode? Like, all right, it's about to get real here.
I mean, I've been nervous. I'm a nervous wreck. Like I like am flip flopping between almost like shaking with nerves, whether it's excitement or just nerves for them. But I'm so all in on this, and I believe in this team. I mean, at this point, I have no reason not to. That if things don't work out the way that I want it to, I have all off season to be worried and focus my thoughts on that. So this week I've just really trying to say, hey, why not us? Why not now? And
Yeah.
now that we're here, the Dodgers, there was no clear juggernaut this year.
No,
All these teams are pretty evenly matched. So I think that the Yankees, they picked the right time to start playing their brand of baseball. And some baseball god type stuff has fallen their way. And in years past, it hasn't. So I think that I'm nervous, excited more than I'm nervous, like worried, because I have plenty of time for all that nonsense later on.
Mike, I know you're excited, but how are
Yeah.
you getting through the week at work?
Yeah, but
ahead of
I
first
like
pitch on
so
Friday?
yeah, like to like piggyback on what Em said. Like I got all off season to figure out how I'm going to run Cashman over with my car if this doesn't work out. Like I got all off season for that. I mean, I got a no plate car with serial numbers filed off. I got the whole fucking thing going on. I got my OJ disguise. I got it all. And if it doesn't work out, then I'm back to that. I'm back to that scheme. So
Oh my
I mean,
God.
good thing there's only 27 people that are recording this friggin' thing, so I can get locked up when that happens.
Yeah,
But,
nobody watches us. You don't have to worry about that.
but it is a nervous excitement, and I think it's what's interesting is like starting at 77. Like I saw a lot of World Series for the Yankees. So then there was a lull like we've experienced now, but that lull wasn't this lull. That lull was they sucked. They were not a good baseball team. And we've gone 15 years with this could be the year. This could be the year that they should win the World Series, and some bullshit's happened all the time. And I think for me, not making the playoffs last year, it was almost a restart. All right, I can wipe away that losing to the Astros. I can wipe away the failures in the postseason. I can wipe away losing a division series. I can wipe away the Red Sox killing us. I can wipe that away, right? And now here we go. We start again, and the timing is great. They're playing the right way. My favorite thing from the post game in Game 6 was them interviewing Hal Steinbrenner after the game, and him looking like he was doing calculation in his head to figure out how he was going to come up with $1 billion for Juan Soto. Because that dude, what I say the first week of the season, the Juan Soto effect's a real thing. It's a real thing.
He's got that,
whatever he's got, whatever he is, whatever it is about him, teams that he's on win, and his swagger makes the team even better. It doesn't distract from the team. That's a unique quality for a player.
Aura. He's got the aura.
Well, yeah, he's 26 years old. I mean, aura for a 26-year-old is pretty crazy.
What I love about the World Series, the Super Bowl, and everything is somebody's going to become an icon somewhere with their fan base. Happens every year in the Super Bowl, World Series. You got, I mean, Judge Judge could solidify himself in Monument Park if he hasn't already done that with the seasons he's put up. Soto, you could have the unsung hero. Shohei is finally in the postseason, as they let you know when he's 8th in the lineup coming up. They flash those annoying graphics.
Yeah. 5 days to Otani.
But to me, I look at these lineups. Both teams can hit. I look at the rotation. Give me somebody in that Yankee rotation. Is it Rodon? Can he keep it going? Will Cole be Cole? I think this is where the series is decided. You got the Dodgers. Flaherty's going game 1. Buehler actually has looked pretty good. Yamamoto, and then a bullpen game. And I just drives me nuts to think a team in the World Series has to have a bullpen game. That makes me crazy. I know they get injuries, but come on. So talk to me about the Yankee pitching. Frank, why don't you start?
So one of the unknowns is Nestor, whether he's going to be on the roster. If he is, he gives them a left-handed option out of the pen. It sounds dramatic, right? He might need Tommy John. He might make his injuries worse, but he has said everything like he really wants to be there for his team. And if it means having to get surgery and miss all of next year, but he gets a ring, so be it. And that's the kind of selfless competitor mentality that just feels like it's uncommon among pitchers today, right? You have guys saying, I don't know why I was out there to pitch the 7th inning. And it's like, that's not Nestor's mindset. And I think guys will appreciate that and are there for it. So he's one of those guys. What if he comes out and has an epic shutdown relief appearance? And people are going to be like, that's the gutsiest pitching thing we've seen in ages. Otherwise, the Yankee starters, if those guys play up to their ability, Cole has stepped up to be a true ace, right? He's got all the pressure in the world. He's a multiple Cy Young winner. He's got this big contract. And then
just cut out.
He comes out and throws like it. And then Rodon has had a couple of great outings recently. So, I think if the Yankee pitchers pitch like they can,
I can't hear.
It'll be good. Can you other guys hear me?
It just happened.
I can hear you, Frank. Emily, can you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, Frank, to your point, I think that this is why you pay Cole.
Yeah.
This is why Cole gets $300 million plus. I mean, it was for this. It wasn't for anything else. I mean, yeah, Grady won a Cy Young award. That's fantastic, but it wasn't. It's not to. It was all for the World Series. And can he go out there and pitch in games 1 and 4 or 1 and 5 and be available in game 7 and be Cy Young Garrett Cole? That's why he's getting paid. That might be the difference. I saw Buster Olney. Buster Olney had a poll yesterday. How many future Hall of Famers are in this World Series? Right? It was 4, 5, 6, 7 plus. And Kershaw's a lock. Kershaw's a lock. Judge, Otani, Betts,
Freeman
for me are highly trending in the right direction, right? Freeman probably would be the front runner to be a lock of those 4 right now, just based on time and compilation of accomplishment. Cole's trending in the right direction.
Stanton.
I think it's way too soon for Soto, but Soto's certainly trending there. And Stanton is making a massive case with his postseason accomplishments. And he's going to probably end up with 500 home runs, right? He'll probably get there. I mean, he's most likely going to get to 500, but his career numbers against the Dodgers are insane. They're insane.
And his numbers in the postseason generally are insane. He's got a 1019 postseason OPS.
Better,
and
Emily?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And he's got more postseason homers than Babe Ruth in fewer games.
Yeah, his home run per at bat, that was the name. Dude, he's got 8 hits against a Cleveland team formerly known as the Indians in his postseason career, and they're all home runs.
Wow.
That's insane.
So let's just keep pitching to him.
You guys talking about Stanton?
Yeah. American League Manager of the Year, Stephen Vogt outthought himself. Every single freaking. I mean, he probably is going to be American League Manager of the Year, but what Like here, Tyler, Tyler, why don't you just spin up a half-assed rec league slider and see if this guy can hit it 130 miles an hour? Well, at least he didn't hit 130. He only hit it 117. But like to your point, like he's making a case. He's gonna have enough power numbers to be considered for the Hall of Fame. But he's on a path right now where his postseason might be that kind of thing where it pushes him over the top.
Especially if he gets a ring, he's already got an MVP. Yeah. Like, I think, and he's under contract through what, 27?
Yeah.
So that's at 3 more full regular seasons. So, I think he gets there.
Yeah. I mean, it's underrated how much he meant to that lineup because when he was hurt this year, they really struggled. Yeah. And even when he came back and he was scuffling, it still just changes the dynamic of the lineup. And the same thing happened when Betts was out with the Dodgers. When Betts was out, the exact same thing happened. I mean, Mookie's probably more important to that lineup than anybody.
Yeah. Hey, Emily, I'm glad you had your Twitter messages open. Yeah, you get the dreaded glitch. Leave the studio. Come on back.
No problem. Yeah. And I think with Stanton, that in today's game especially, you don't have to. Every player isn't a complete player, right? It's so difficult to be the kind of hitter that is complete. So you just have guys that play roles, and there are a few guys that have this sort of skill set as Giancarlo Stanton as a role player, in my opinion. Like no one hits the ball as hard as him. So I think that, yeah, he's super important to the lineup. Not to mention, and back to the conversation about Hall of Famer, he's one of the most prolific home run hitters of this entire generation. I mean, he's the leader, the current active leader in career home runs. So, I mean, that's where the bar should be when you're talking about generations and looking at their Hall of Fame status. Not so much you compare them to past inductees, but there also has to be a level of, okay, the game changes from one era to the next. So where does this player compare among all of his peers over the course of, a decade of his prime?
Right.
So here's the question as we welcome El Jefe, Mr. Vitale, to the show.
Did you get the cucumbers off your eyes yet from your spa day in Palm Springs?
First off, they were tea bags, genius.
I'm sure it was a tea bag. 90-year-old homeless guy.
There's a lot. Come on, good joke. Good joke.
What he does on his own time is his own business. What I'm hoping is he can bring some more juice to this show, just like Jazz brought about halfway through the year to the Yankees. Chisholm, what has he meant to this group? What can he do here? And could he be the difference in this series for the Yankees offensively?
You're asking me all of a sudden?
I'm asking you. You're the Dodger fan. You're the transplanted Yankee fan.
What the hell is this?
Dodger fan. This is
I thought you said Dodgers in
disturbing 4. Revelation.
I know.
Wait a damn minute. I'm the one putting my ass in the jackpot going to the game on Friday. Not you. A's fan.
Easy. We're talking real baseball.
You know what? I mean, wait, hold on. Does Jazz Chisholm, is that what you're telling me?
Talk about Jazz Chisholm. What's he meant to this group?
He was great down the stretch, and then it was his first time in the playoffs, and not so much. But that's okay. It's okay. I mean, I kind of don't see how slotting him in the cleanup role or hitting fifth is going to work, but you drop him down, move Anthony Rizzo up a little bit. You're going to get your lefty in there. Rizzo's been there, done that. I have no idea what the hell the show's about. I just tried to jump on and
that's you're right in.
You're like, what's the topic again?
You'll fit right in. Hey, one thing about Chisholm is Chisholm has played a phenomenal third base.
He's got a cannon.
You know what? For a guy who's never played there before, I mean, I think that's great. But again, he does come from the Peter Bendix Marlin system, where it doesn't matter where you've played your whole life. You just play. Holy shit! I still have my seatbelt on. That's how ill prepared I am for this.
Safety first.
Well, not when you're just sitting here in the middle of the fucking desert. Anyway, I can see Jazz running into one. I think maybe drop him down a little bit. I mean, I know the whole thing was why was Jazz hitting fifth and Rizzo sixth? The interest in that, according to Boone, was we don't know if Rizzo's going to have to come out of the game. He's still experiencing pain, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sorry. I think if you do 1 through 4, you do Glaber, Soto, Judge. What's his friggin' name? Oh, Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
How dare you?
So you put Stanton, and then honestly, I think Rizzo at 5 is the best lineup.
Yeah.
For this team, because I mean, 5's a notorious great RBI slot. And then you worry about the back end. Alex Verdugo, I'm not exactly sure he hasn't made a deal with the devil, because what did he have in the ALCS? 2 balls that were just squibbed, and all of a sudden it just turned into the defensive wizard Brian Rocchio crapping his diaper and making it look like he never played before. Just saying.
That was so satisfying.
Oh my God, was it not?
They were sucking him off the entire series.
Oh my God, were they not?
And he had 2 very critical errors in 2 games.
Yeah, and he's so great, and he always looks like somebody just killed his friggin' kitten. I mean, he's got this dopey look on his face. Sorry, Guardians fans, but the guy just has that mopey thing, mopio. But
if you lived in Cleveland, you'd look like that too.
Whatever the case is, I still don't know what the hell we're talking about. But
it's on the graphic. The graphic department spent all day. It says New York Yankees versus Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah. Thanks for unleashing the marketing department from Ball 9 on us. This is what we got for graphic. That's awesome.
Dude, I literally am in the car right now. I had to go to Palm Springs to get this fucking thing fixed.
No, you just said you went and got teabagged.
Isn't there? That's what I heard. That's
what they call it.
Else hear the same thing?
Going to the Apple Store.
Talking about chaos too.
Unabomber guy in the desert.
I just went to the Apple Store.
Isn't there some Unabomber guy living in the desert, living in a shack in the desert, like planning for the apocalypse that could have fixed that? Besides you, that could have fixed that.
This guy.
Okay, so look, a lot of Yankees talk.
Frank, not enough people talk about Dell instead of Apple.
Well, look, you got Betts, you got Freeman, Shohei. Frank, you're the NEPTA guy. Who is it? Is it Tommy Edman? Who's the guy on the Dodgers that could really upset the Yankee?
Hi, Frank. I couldn't see who it was up there.
Hey, Vitali.
I'm on my stupid phone in the freaking desert, so my bad.
So, look, we know who all the superstars are, right? Yep. You may have heard of this guy, Shohei Ohtani. He's due up in 2 batters.
Who?
But, okay, so the 2 hitters that could be NEPTA guys, if Tommy Edman stays hot, he just had like a ridiculous NLCS, and he's not one of the big bats, right? He's a 5'10" utility guy. If he hits like he's been hitting and the superstars do what they're supposed to do, that's scary. He's a switch hitter, and like he's playing above his level. He's peaking at the right time. The other guy is Max Muncy. Do you know what Max Muncy's OBP was in the NLCS?
No,
630. 630.
I actually was going to say 730, but damn.
He got on base 63% of the time. He played 5 games. Freddie Freeman was nursing a bad ankle. Muncy played a bunch of first base that series and just was a really tough out. He's, what we like to call on Twitter a professional hitter.
And he does this, right? He has spells where he's like, why is Max Muncy playing right now? Mm-hmm. And then he has this tear. And this tear is not, it's not 5 games for him. It's 5 weeks. Like when he gets on runs like this, he's on a run.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Max Muncy is one of those guys. He's like kind of one of those Kyle Schwarber guys. And notice they're both chunky. It doesn't.
Hey, don't
shame me.
Wait, let's see where he's going with it. Let's see where he's going.
Does not matter.
Find a way to pick on the fat kid. That's me.
You know what I mean? Like, batting average does not exactly matter that much when you're talking about a Schwarber or a Muncy. These guys, they eat donuts, they hit dingers. They're like Big Al, baby.
Thank God Rowdy Tellez is in this series. You'd be all over.
Out of the park legend, Rowdy Tellez. Thank you. Look, you know my take on fat guys. I love the fat guys. I do. Less creatine, more Ovaltine.
Ovaltine.
Yeah, man, come on. I Emily, I watch, friggin' stupid fucking Christmas movie every year. Ovaltine.
Eat
But
more Ovaltine.
you know what? Look, no, but I have to agree with Frank a ton. I mean, Edmund is Edmund's a beast, man. I mean, he's just a little regular looking dude who just can play baseball. And again, that's why we love baseball. Because, whether you like the little tiny guy who's in what's that team? Oh, yeah, Houston. Whether you like them or, look, we have one too. As Yankee fans, we have a little guy who I think is really going to I think he's going to have a great series. I think Anthony Volpe's going to have a big series. And, the night that I met him, I met him once and I couldn't. It's very rare that I'm taller than a major league player. And I was kind of proud of that.
I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty nice.
Before you met Volpe, it was Altuve and Eddie Goodell. Those were the two.
That was it. Completely it. That was it. Yeah, Eddie Goodell, and then Altuve came around and made me feel a little better. But yeah, you know what? I mean, people don't talk a hell of a lot. Just saying, not to pull Frank's thing here.
You can say it. You can say it. Please say it.
Not enough people talk about what the hell Anthony Volpe's doing in this postseason. It's like his testicles dropped. I mean, he's over here. He's waving off guys. He's like all of a sudden it's like, yeah. I'm not only about chicken parm. It's like I want the damn red pepper flakes and make things spicy. That's what Volpe's doing. I think game one on Friday, which I almost had to sell a kidney to get to. I sold the 1972 precision base and I'm going. But that's a story for a different day. I think game one, I don't know. My weird prediction, I like small guys. I like fat guys. I love baseball, and that's why I like it.
I didn't know that was a choice for prediction. I would have chose that too.
Game one, Volpe drives in 2 or 3 for no good reason. I think he drives in 2 or 3, and that just makes the bottom of the Yankees lineup so much more difficult to navigate. That's just, I mean, I don't know. Jazz Chisholm, though, getting back to the first question you asked me, Jazz Chisholm is going to be an unknown, and I don't think having him in the 4 or 5 spot is best mentally for him, just because the guy's too excited. He's too excited. I'd be that excited, too, if I was on the Marlins. Yeah. It's like getting out of jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like having a sentence commuted, and they gave you $50 million because you were wrongfully accused. Like that's exactly that's what happened to him.
1 through 4, and if you put Rizzo at 5, 1 through 5 is great. But and like I said, and then you have like the weirdness at the bottom of the order. I think Chisholm will be good. I think you take a little pressure off him. Remember, they dropped Emily. I hate to say this. They dropped A-Rod down, when it came down to it.
And it was a really good decision.
Yeah.
They did really well that year.
So it's not about feelings at that point. It's about rings. Rings feel better than feelings. Playoff shares are better than feelings. And the Yankees don't skimp on the champagne, so drinking the champagne is...
All right, here's the question for the Yankee fans. Okay, we talked... We had our pre-postseason show. We talked about the Yankee bullpen. They were really good. Luke Weaver's been good. Do you just leave Clay Holmes on the roster to go out and eat up innings when you're down 9-2 in the 4th inning, or do you park him and Marcus Stroman in the stands and say, thanks for your contributions, we'll see you in February?
I mean, Emily, Clay Holmes was great so far the postseason. He had he had the same bad game that Weaver had, So I think that in terms of when you look at the bullpens across the postseason, what they've all done, there's no pristine bullpen. The Yankees have the closest thing to it. So I think that with the exception of, having maybe Nestor in there to have, guys who started during the year that can eat up some innings in case some of the starters get in trouble, you absolutely keep Clay Holmes in there because he's been nasty.
Yeah. Well, and then with a couple days off, I mean, we saw what he did, when he came in with a couple days off. And then, he got used a lot. And I mean, how much of this is the factor of the Yankees carried a 5-man bench in the ALCS? It's not something that a lot of people talked about. They carried a 5-man bench, so the bullpen was, an arm short. And then you carry Stroman, who they didn't use at all. You're basically missing 2 relievers at that point. I mean, if you want to look at it that way, I do think that. I mean, at this point, do you carry Dominguez? I'm going to ask you guys that question. Do the Yankees carry Dominguez into the World Series as a roster spot, or do they go back to a 4-man bench and possibly, and then you can bring Nestor out? But I mean, it's like you can't have another Stroman situation where he's not going to throw 1 inning or a third of an inning or 1 pitch, and that's a roster spot. So I'm curious as to know what you guys think about that. I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
I think the Yankees have a little bit of an advantage in the way that they roster conceivably, because you have to go by the assumption that Cole's going 7.
Yeah,
and you have to go by the assumption that Rodon's giving you 6, because you're paying those 2 guys to do exactly that, right? And so that should alleviate the pressure on the bullpen, where the Dodgers are going to pray that Flaherty is game 1 against the Mets Flaherty and not game 5 against the Mets Flaherty. And Yamamoto's going 4, and that's it. And Walker Buehler's going 4, and that's it. Like, they're still coming back from injury.
If that, they are so dead set on not getting through the third time through the order.
But what
the Yankees can put up crooked numbers in the first couple innings, they're out.
But what showed itself in the playoffs?
How much more can the Dodgers bullpen take?
But this is what showed itself in the playoffs so far, right? The thing that showed itself in the playoffs so far, and they talked about it so much in the Yankee Guardian series, it was getting to be a little bit ridiculous. I mean, the Guardians bullpen was the best in baseball all year. When you see these guys 4 days in a row, like you can't. That's why Mark Leiter was so effective. Like he was not a known commodity for them.
Surprise of the season, right there.
I mean, Cousins was great. Hamilton was good when he. I mean, the guys that they hadn't seen were most effective. The guys that they started to see every single day, like the batters adjust. Like Frank and I have many of these Twitter conversations about like not enough people talk about complete games. I mean, I think, and as they talk about Manfred with more bullshit rule change thought process. Oh, we got to dump. We got to get the starting pitchers back to focus. Let's make them.
That's a different show. You can't force the guy to go 6.
All this bullshit that happens is like when you're relying on your bullpen, and the Dodgers are going to do it maybe twice to get you through an entire game. Maybe the first time it works, but you saw it. So the Mets got all everybody talked about 33 consecutive scoreless innings, and the Mets pounced on that bullpen, and they couldn't get on that bullpen fast enough.
Yeah,
and that bullpen's not that good. That Dodger bullpen is not that good. It's the most hit or miss bullpen that there is still in the playoffs.
Cheeky at best.
I mean, Michael Kopech, like you're going to roll the dice on him? Holy crap! Good luck.
He has a nice hair thing going on.
Yeah,
throws hard, and that's it. That's all.
Yeah,
that
throw hard. Hit the bull.
Pretty sure Stanton took him deep last year.
I'm pretty sure he did, Emily.
Because I got to try and keep Mike level here a little bit. He's had 38 minutes and 50 seconds of me being nice to him. Aaron Boone's been under pressure for years. Which manager is more likely to blow this thing up with a completely nonsensical
Dave
move?
Roberts.
Wait,
it's Dave Roberts.
Give me a coin.
Emily, why are you shaking your head yes on Dave Roberts?
Because, I mean, at this point, like, this team has gotten to they've won the American League Championship, and they're now one of 2 teams standing. Does that mean Boone has been perfect? No, of course not. But far be it for me to like question the process and anticipate failure of the process. Because one thing that you can say for Boone, which during times like this is comforting to me when all things are clicking for them, that he will stick to his process. So I feel like Dave Roberts will sometimes have a little bit more of like a trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, and then it ends up being the dumbest fucking thing you've ever seen in your life.
He's been the whipping boy all summer on this show, and I'll let Mike get to that in a minute. Frank, how about you? Boone or Roberts? Who do you trust less?
I think I trust Roberts less. Having said that, I don't think he's doing bullpen day because it's fun or optimal. I know that the Dodgers have just been riddled with injuries and they have like a lot of hurt arms. I think he's probably doing the best he can under the circumstances, but that necessarily requires some unorthodox managing. But he's not afraid to like deploy the running game. He's not afraid to do a lot of things. And I think sometimes when you're comfortable doing everything, you can overdo it. And, like I think Boone will be the more conservative manager here, probably.
I can agree with that. I think so too. I honestly, not enough people talk about when Frank talks about bullpens. I think he's absolutely right. No, 100%. I mean, look, I know, and I have a group chat with guys who played with Roberts, against Roberts, and everyone has kind of said the same thing about Roberts, where he's going to be the one who overthinks it. He's going to overdo it. I mean, his bullpen management, and not because he wants to, they just don't have the starters, man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, but even like former players that I talk to all the time are like, dude, he's just, you just don't have it to work with. I mean, it's again, it comes down to, the length you can get out of your starters. And I hope that Cole, Rodon, you can get 6. That seems to be a little tough in this postseason. But yeah, I mean, I think Roberts does it because he doesn't have a choice. But again, you have more chances for a guy to have an off day the more people you throw in, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's the issue with a bullpen day. I mean, it's not, everybody's not going to be perfect every night, and especially when you're using these guys this much. So I do think, unless Roberts has the managerial series of his life, I think that's going to be a detriment to them, and I think that very well could be an advantage to the Yankees. So,
Mike, how about you? I know you're not a Roberts fan. You've been upset with him since.
Look, first of all, this isn't Sparky Anderson. This isn't Sparky Anderson versus Earl Weaver managing in the World Series. But I think that, like, one of the things that we Yankee fans are critical of Boone is he doesn't react. Like when it looks like it, like to Emily's point, he sticks to his process, and we want him to react and make a change. Roberts is probably more prone to overreact, and that could be the difference. Managing is not going to win this series. Players are going to win this series, and it's going to
win every series.
It's going to come down to, like, they're both great at plate discipline. They're both taking a ton of pitches. They're both putting incredible pressure on starting pitching. They're both great at getting into the bullpen. The top 4 in the orders are both like, you got to deal with that bullshit on both teams. At the end of the day, is it like who's going to be more disciplined about their discipline than the other team, right? I mean, Ohtani didn't have a phenomenal postseason of LCS because he walked a lot.
Especially with the bases empty.
Yes, struggles.
Like, you know what? Garrett Cole's the right guy to do this. I'd put one right in his fucking rib cage on the first pitch.
I'm all right with that.
I would put one right in his I would put one right in his rib cage on.
I'm okay with that.
And then have enough confidence that I can get through Betts and Freddie Freeman, and just like, we're not scared of you. 25 years ago, that would have happened for sure. Billy Martin would have hit him in the skull. I mean, Campus
Yeah,
would
with,
have
yeah, with
drilled
the
him right
handle of
between
a
the
urinal
eyeballs.
that he ripped off in a drunken rage out of Yankee Stadium. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
but
as
but
brass knuckles, it's that's the Billy Martin. But
I think they've got like the Yankees are playing with a little bit of an edge right now, which is unusual for this team. This team's been,
that's why they brought certain people in, isn't it?
well, you bring personality in, you bring a couple guys with strong personalities in that haven't messed up the chemistry, and now all of a sudden they look like they're having a little more fun. And but I mean the Dodgers lineup is loaded with professional hitters, right? They're loaded with them, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Teoscar, talk about a guy that bet on himself and won big. Teoscar Hernandez hit the jackpot this year by betting on himself.
Perfect fit for that team. Perfect fit
for that team, right? And all he did was basically did what he always did.
Yeah, but he just, I
He
mean,
didn't have a year that was like off the charts.
It's like currency. Every home run you hit in
it.
Canada is like 3/4 of a home run in America.
Yeah, that's true.
So, the exchange rate is just not the same.
Is the exchange rate of the Canadian dollar higher or lower than the taxable American dollar rate in California? That's the net. I'll be on that tomorrow. That's tomorrow's research topic.
No, I was not told this was a math
I'm literally parked outside a tire store, and I might go rip off some tires to.
Yeah, you guys got to let me know if I have to have my abacus ready. That's a lot.
Get your head out of your abacus.
Nobody told us there'd be math in this.
Get your head out of your abacus.
What is up with that? All right, so let's get to predictions, okay? So who wins it, why, or what's the difference, and who's the MVP? Let's start with Emily.
I think Yankees win it in 6 games. I think MVP is going to be, I'm going to say Gleyber Torres. I think
I was going to ask about Gleyber. Talk about him for a few.
He's just been he's been a dream since not just the postseason, since they moved into the leadoff spot. I think that his walk year put a lot of pressure on him. He's a really emotional player. And I think that he was feeling kind of lost, not sure what his role was, the pressure of maybe they're going to use that money to sign Soto in the offseason. And then they gave him a spot and they gave him a role and they gave him some purpose in this lineup. So I really think that that helped him a lot. And I think that he's going to be huge this series.
All right. Frank, how about you, my friend?
I think it's Yankees in 5. I think Judge may find his October self that we've always hoped he would. He seems to be really, aware, really conscientious, really wanting to have a good showing. I'm hoping it clicks for him. By way of MVP, I feel one of the big guys just has an insane week. If it's Soto or Judge or Stanton, I think one of the big bats just goes crazy.
Okay. El Jefe, how about you?
Oh God. Yankees in 6. I'm only saying that because Yankees in 6. And because I'm a little, like I said to you earlier, I'm a little terrified if it comes back out here for a deciding game 6, you're gonna see me on the news stealing catalytic converters trying to afford a ticket.
I don't think they accept that at the box office, though. They try to get money.
No. You have to cash them in like a casino.
Did you buy some new Sawzall blades while you were out today so you can?
No, I do think it's Yankees in 6. I wanted to say 5, but I do think I don't know. The Dodgers they're good. I mean, that lineup is good, and something weird's going to happen. So Yankees in 6, and my odd pick for MVP is Volpe. I know it's weird. I just think
love that.
I just think he like under the radar, hits like 330 in the series. He's got an OBP of like 400. But RBIs. I think RBIs is going to be Volpe's thing. I think he's going to just knock guys in, and Verdugo. And my other weird prediction is Verdugo is going to have a gigantic 3-run home run. I don't know why. Well, because he's hit enough squibers that apparently were covered in olive oil that nobody could feel. So
I actually am covered in olive oil.
Right now?
Nighttime
as we
routine.
speak. Yeah.
Hey, I
It's
said before,
Tuesday.
what you do on your time is your
Oh
is
yeah, I'm sorry.
Tuesday.
It's time to grease. Time to grease Not Guy Eddie.
A little more information of the newlywed life of at Not Guy Eddie that we weren't prepared for, but
a
we're
beautiful
glad
thing.
we got.
It's a
We
beautiful
are
thing.
glad.
There are no
really is.
secrets on this podcast. None.
I
Look,
just
you
made
guys-
a note of that, Frank. I just made a note of that for future use. So
You guys
On
are the ones that
Tuesdays, we
decided to
rub
do
up-
this on a
yeah,
Tuesday,
on
right?
Tuesdays,
that's fair.
Tuesdays
Yeah,
we rub up Not Guy Eddie with olive oil. I'm okay with that.
yeah.
I'm
We're trying to
okay with it.
normalize hashtag Chaos Tuesday. Like we're going to get that thing trending soon.
That's how you're going to do
It's
it.
pretty chaotic.
I keep thinking every week we're gonna run out of chumps who want to be chiefs, and
No.
Never.
we haven't
Never.
reached the end of the line. And I hope you all enjoyed today's Nepta Juan Soto post.
Yeah, unbelievable.
There were some, obviously, the art in Chaos Tuesday is that there's always more than a kernel of truth. It's not just abject insanity. I mean, obviously, plenty of people talk about Juan Soto, but I don't think they really dive into where he stands among other young players historically. And what we've seen from this guy really
25.
is he's 25. He turns
25.
he will turn 26 the day before game 1.
No, game 1,
So Thursday.
Oh, yeah, right.
the 25th, October 25th.
25th. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it's really crazy when you look at the career he's already had, and he's only gonna get mature even further, and he's gonna finish with some incredible numbers. And he's one of these guys. Emily and I talk about this all the time. How lucky are we to watch this man play baseball?
Yeah,
Especially on Saturday night. That was fucking crazy.
Oh,
Like,
man.
I've watched
my
it
God.
80,000 times.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've watched that thing a zillion times.
I can't
You want to hear
stop
something
watching it.
scary? I haven't seen it. I was covering a college hockey game.
Oh my God. If and when you watch it, especially, sorry, Frank.
You know what?
You got to watch Ricky Ricardo's Spanish call of it.
No, I
It's-
will.
It is, I don't know what the hell he's talking about for half of it, but oh my God. it is one of the most fun calls you're ever going to hear.
Hey,
Tom
you gotta watch
Hamilton
the
Covering
whole
a college
at-bat.
hockey game. So I
Tom Hamilton's call was unbelievable. You had no idea he was the Guardians.
No, he was fired.
Oh,
broadcast.
yeah, the radio guy.
was
yeah, he
phenomenal.
killed it.
All right, Mike.
I don't think Sterling even knows that the ball was a home run yet.
That was actually the most depressing call out of all of them.
Like John,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
you know,
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
you could talk to Sheeran about that tomorrow night. Like, can we just
Oh,
leave him
I
home?
have Ricky coming on too because I have to ask him about that Spanish call.
Can we leave Sterling home? I mean,
Yeah, right.
Well,
All right.
this is it. We'll just let him ride off into the sunset. So
yeah, this is a good time.
that's why it'll be a nice thing.
He had to check his notes to say American League Championship Series over.
Oh God, the guys with shopping carts are starting to show up with cans. So I'm listening, but I might have to peel out of here in a heartbeat. Thank you, California.
Can you sell them some catalytic converters? Tell them to come back and
Yeah.
see you on
I
Friday.
gotta pee, and I don't even want to go outside the car.
Well, do they got an empty 2-liter bottle in one of those shopping carts? Should be
No, I
good.
got an empty shopping cart, so they'll just put my dead body in there.
Maybe you get teabagged again. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Mike, who are you picking, Mike? I'm guessing it's not the team on the West Coast.
It's definitely not those assholes on the West Coast, and
Yes.
I am picking the Yankees in 6. I think it's gonna be a great World Series. I really do. I think it's gonna be a great World Series. They're more evenly matched offensively than people understand until they actually pay attention. If you take the blinders off, pitching will be the difference. Like my Chaos Tuesday pick for MVP is Juan Soto because I want to see how tight Hal's asshole can get in the post game when he realizes that 1 billion just became 1 trillion and he can't not sign the guy.
He's going to
Just-
look good in a Mets uniform next year,
He's
though.
gonna
Just
that'll
sell the team to
be-
Soto at this point.
dude. I'll get friggin' Liberty season tickets and be a WNBA lifetime all-in fan. I do like the WNBA, but I'm done. He signs
Done
with
with
the
MLB.
He was my favorite player before the Yankees signed him, non-Yankee, and they got it. Andy loves it there. Andy, he gets a taste of winning. It's going to be hard for him. It's going to be hard for him not to step in and say, you know what, at this point, 800 million, 900 million, what's 100 million between friends? Let's just stay where I got a chance to win. I do think logical me thinks Cole's going to be the MVP.
Wow.
I like
that. Going to go far enough?
That Cole's gonna show everybody why they gave him so much money, and he's gonna go out and be Cy Cole and have 2 fully dominant starts, and they don't even have to worry about whether they need him in Game 7, and he's gonna own the Dodgers. And that might be what I'm hoping for the most of anything. So that's what I'm going with. Though the Chaos Tuesday me really wants Soto to make Hal's pucker.
I don't think it's Chaos Tuesday. I think it's Olive Oil Tuesday now. All right.
I know. That doesn't fit the shtick. I don't even know how he transitioned to Olive Oil Tuesday from Chaos Tuesday.
So here's the pick. I've been spending. Once I knew I was going to be swarmed by Yankee fans, I spent most of the day trying to make the case for the Dodgers, and you can, because as Chris said, they're a really good team. I think Buehler will give them some innings. I can't do it though. I'm picking the Yankees.
Hell yeah, Sean.
We're fucking
screwed.
My
God.
We're screwed.
Yeah, you guys are totally screwed now.
That's the kiss of death if there ever was a kiss of death. Dodgers and Bulls.
Thanks a lot.
I'm going to give you a sleeper for the MVP. I was going to pick Soto.
I don't want to over with my car. I can already feel it.
I like Rodon to be the difference in his 2 starts. I think he'll back up Cole. He'll give you enough innings, 5 or 6, strike out a bunch of guys and get out of there. I liked his mentality when the playoffs started. He said all the right things. He watched Cole, he studied him, and he went out and did it. I think he could be a guy, a left-hander, to help control the Dodgers. So I'll pick him as the MVP.
So, Sean, as I said to you before we came on, the Yankees are 7-0 against right-hand pitching and right-hand starters in the postseason, and the Dodgers have 0 left-hand starters. That's what gives me more. That's what gives me more confidence of this like jittery confidence that I have than anything, is that they're going to roll righties out there, and that mid to bottom of the order was a pain in the rear end. Like there was stuff going on. There was stuff going on. Volpe was having good at bats. Rizzo was having good at bats. When they moved Wells down, he started making better contact. I mean, there was more going on in the bottom of the order against those pitchers, and then they grind so many at bats. They take so many pitches. Like they just grind and grind. It's like when Girardi was managing, they just grind. And they put so much pressure on the starters that by the time that it's and they have to against the big 3. They have to. They have no choice. You have to pitch like that. The same way you got to pitch like that against Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman. You got to use an incredible amount of like physical and mental energy to get through those guys. That you can't once you step off the gas. There's still hitters in the lineup on both of these teams that can make you pay. The Dodgers are more all or nothing than the Yankees are. The Yankees will get the bases moving. Edmund's an X factor for sure. Edmund is looking like all-star Edmund from St. Louis for sure right now. But I just think at the end of the day, I mean, you can make a case for the Dodgers, but it's not as compelling a case as you can make for the Yankees.
Agree.
If the Yanks win, do any of you guys get to the parade?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm getting my first ever tattoo if the Yankees win.
Really?
I also said I would get a tattoo. The God bless me tattoo.
I'm getting an interlocking NY and 28 tally marks. That's going to be my tattoo.
28 tally marks.
Yeah, so then when they win another one, I can just add one. It'll be easy.
That's not a bad
idea. It won't hurt as much because I'm going to cry like a little fucking 9-year-old the entire time. Yeah.
Wait,
there's not enough bourbon in Pennsylvania to make me get through this in the first place.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it does not hurt that bad.
But look, me and pain, we got an understanding. I avoid it, and I don't want it near me. That's the understanding.
There you go.
That's fair.
I mean, I can take the emotional pain. I can take the physical pain. Nah, I'm a big giant pain.
So listen, while it's still Tuesday, can I say one chaotic thing?
Bring it, baby.
If the Yankees win, I think Yankee fans will be incredibly excited, but on some level, It's just business as usual. It's what we grew up on, right? It's the Commissioner's Trophy is supposed to come to New York. If the Dodgers win, and I know some Dodger fans that are great people, I think Dodger fans will be insufferable if the Dodgers win this World Series.
Oh God, yeah.
Absolutely. They already are.
I mean, I think I'm more nervous about that than about anything baseball wise. Like when the Dodgers won in 2020, it was in the short season, right? Some people, made fun of how it's like the Mickey Mouse World Series or whatever. It was only the 60 game season. But at the same time, it's like a 7-game series is a 7-game series, and may the best team win. But I think they have like a big chip on their shoulder over that. They want to win a real one. Yeah. And I don't want the Yankees of 2024 to be the team that gives them the satisfaction of that, because we will never hear the end of it.
No, I think the other part of it is, from a Yankee fan perspective, is okay, there's one. Now what do we better get one next year.
Let's work on this one first.
Just one at a time is good.
Yeah, Yankee fans will not burn their city to the ground. Dodger fans are more prone to go full Montreal and just burn everything.
Very Vancouver of them.
Yeah, but you're right.
It's just a Canadian thing.
It'll be a long.
For a bunch of polite people, they sure like their arson.
Yeah, for our own sanity, let's get number 28.
Yeah, please, God.
Completely. That would be nice.
Well, I'll live vicariously through all.
I really don't want to. I mostly don't want to kill Brian Cashman. I mostly don't. but
he bought himself another. Yeah.
But
oh God,
you may force your hand.
Very, very, very possibly.
I can't say that I don't have a manuscript. I can't see. There's not like some diatribe of a madman, 37 notebooks of shit, for the last 15 years.
Manifesto.
Because of the whole manifesto.
Really tiny printing.
Crazy.
Symbols, weird symbols that no one understands.
Yeah. Every 10th page, every 10th page it says, why'd you trade Jay Buhner?
Soap? It's like that Castile soap, and it's got that serial killer writing on the bottle of soap. You know what I'm talking about?
Complaining about random third-round picks from 10 years ago.
That's how I see Mike's baseball diary.
Brian Taylor's photo.
Dr. Bronner's Castile serial killer soap. That's how
I'm the only person in the Delaware Valley that still buys magazines, and that's the whole manifesto. It's just cut out words from 100 different magazines.
600 pages of that.
Ransom notes. Just ransom notes.
It gets worse because I'm sniffing the glue as I'm building it, and it's just a fucking.
But you also have the contingency plan. You have some thank you notes, but they're still with the magazine clippings.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, the thank you notes are also great. They're also cut out.
Guys, I have a quick question. Apparently, I parked in some homeless encampment, so I think I need to get the hell out of here, because now there's 7 people with shopping carts, and they're all looking at me, and
are they hungry?
I think I gotta get the hell out.
Do they look hungry?
Probably, but I'm hungry too, so I gotta go.
All right.
But guys, pleasure to see you, Emily, Frank, the 2 of you guys.
See you, Chris.
But I gotta get the hell out of here. How do I shut this off, or else you're gonna see me peel out and
I'll boot
possibly an invasion of the body snatchers.
I'll boot you out of here, buddy.
You videotape it. I can send it to Steve Inman, and he can do a video about you getting your ass kicked in your car. That'd be great.
All right, Vitali's out of here.
What a whirlwind!
Oh my God.
That's the first time I've ever kicked somebody out of the studio. It literally says "kick from studio."
He's like a tornado on the back of a hurricane.
Couldn't wait.
And he deserved it. All right. Well, folks, listen, I'm very jealous, because all this listening to actual championship baseball talk has me feeling like I need to call A's team president Dave Kaval again this week and try and get him to call me back. He owes me at least 35 phone calls, the coward. So at least. But anywho,
he's not.
I wish you all a ton of luck. We are gonna try and do a show next week, though. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is games 3, 4, 5. So I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll figure it out.
We will figure it out.
Pleasure to see you all.
This was great.
Yeah. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks for indulging me.
I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get than that Nyman lady, but I think we were getting there, and then Chris came in and shanghaied everything. I think we were getting there.
Well, you'll definitely get it. We'll have to do this again after the World Series because no matter what the outcome is, I'm sure I will have some grievance because I am a Long Islander after all. So
sounds good.
Yeah. We'll do a recap.
We can do a recap.
Long Island grievance. It's what we do.
All right. So everyone enjoy the World Series. I hope it's as great. I'm gonna sit back as a baseball fan. I just picked the Yankees, so I want to look as smart as I can, which is a challenge for me. But I just want to watch some good baseball. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. Two best teams, marquee players, like Frank said earlier, Hall of Famers. This will be a lot of fun. I think good for the game too.
Hell yeah.
A lot of people are going to watch.
I'm going to start a tally count on the number of times that people bitch on Twitter about how much Smoltz hates the Yankees. I already wrote 80 down for game 1, and I think I'm probably light.
Probably.
Do you have enough bourbon in stock, Mike, to get you through the next 10 days?
Don't you worry about me, son.
I generally don't.
Pennsylvania Wine and Spirits is 2 blocks from my house. I can get there.
Did they deliver?
Chief.
Do I need a new liver? Is that what you just asked me? Yeah. As a matter of fact.
Couple years.
Couple years.
All right, guys. Enjoy and thanks again.
Appreciate you guys for jumping on. With half a day's notice.
Yes.
Anytime.
And what's the next Lego before you go in? What's the next Lego build?
I'm actually in the middle of building this deep sea submarine.
Oh my God, that's your favorite.
Yeah, well, it's my own version of the Ocean Gate Titan because that's another thing that I'm obsessed with outside of baseball.
You want me to send you a couple M80 so you can blow it up when it gets to the bottom of your bathtub?
Well, someone said that they were like, "Why don't you just leave it crushed in the bag?" I was like, "Yeah, that probably would be the better representation."
2,000 pieces. It's now 4,000 pieces.
All right, and Frank, enjoy the last 2.5 hours of Olive Oil Tuesday and then not go everywhere.
Oh, I will. I've been enjoying it this whole time. In fact.
My God.
Is that what your camera angle is?
That is okay. You know what? Sleep is vastly overrated anyway, so I'm good. Thanks for
All right. See you guys.
Feeling until 4:30 and then just realizing, fuck, I got to get up in an hour anyway, so why even bother? Let's watch some more NCIS New Orleans. I've only seen it all 30,000 times. What the hell?
But you keep coming back for more. All right. I'll see you guys.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you. Okay. Well, that was a hoot.
That was a blast, man.
All right. So they kick it off on Friday. We'll see what happens. I wish you luck. I hope you guys can get it.
Well, it's going to be at least we're here. It's been a while. So now hopefully Yankee Twitter can enjoy it and not vomit pitch by pitch. And, I'd like to be on X and a little active during the World Series, but I've learned to just not because it's very infuriating with the overreaction on everything. Sure. So maybe we just sit back and watch this thing and hopefully it's a great World Series. And at the end of the day, if the Yankees win, that'll be the best.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. I know the big man in Massachusetts is not rooting for you, but I will send you some positive juju.
The big man in Massachusetts root for Mookie Betts?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an upset. That's an upset. That's an upset.
Well, he's not rooting for Verdugo either.
Well, that's true. I guess he had to pick one.
Yeah. Yep. All right, my man.
All right, we're out.
Enjoy. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you.